Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is time for the live stream again, 3 p.m. here in New Vienna, Iowa, Sunday, July 19th, 2020. Hopefully, you guys are doing well where you are. It is actually a very nice day here in Iowa. It was cool, then it got real hot. And then I thought we were supposed to have another really hot day today, but it ended up being really fantastically nice. So, very pleasant. I did a little bit of a trim today. I shaved a little bit. I left the mustache. I did trim a little bit. The part that was creeping over the lip and getting into my food, I kind of gave that a trim. But the rest, I didn't shave it off. I used the trimmer, like a blade on, a guard on top of the facial hair trimmer clippers that I have. So there's still some there, not really showing up. But I wanted to just two things. I had to trim everything a little bit because the sunscreen was getting caught in in the hairs, and that was just really weird. And I have a meeting tomorrow that I have to be on camera for. It's the first one in a while. I should probably normally, if I were in Chicago, I would have suited up for it to be on camera, but I didn't bring any suits with me down here, and I don't care really. So I'm not sure if I'm going to shave this for tomorrow or not, but I thought it at least needs to be presentable, so I trimmed it. We'll see. I think I'm going to go for it. It's not that long of a meeting. It'll be 20, 30 minutes, so we'll see how that goes. How's everybody else doing today? We got Chris Dyke in here, JC, not really Hank Aaron, Terrence Hui, got an IPA beside him while he foam rolls. That's nice. Martha's here, Terrence as well. Stevie76 says, yo, what's going on? Louis M in his Dunbar. Yeah, he says, hi, Kofuzi and everybody. Live stream number 90. I think it's number 90. I keep misnumbering them. I've gone back through and I recently counted from number 30 up, and there were two misnumberings. So there's some missing numbers and some duplicate numbers, but I think we're on number 90, although technically number 91 because the first one was 000. But yeah, and then there's been the other live streams and stuff too before that, the Instagram ones. But as far as the YouTube ones that look kind of like this, we're on number 90. Can't believe it. I thought I'd be kind of done with this by now, because I was well, once everyone can run and race again, I won't need to do this. But I still feel like we need to do this. Well, I also like it too, so it's not going to go away. But yeah, I was hoping the world would be better off by now. I guess I grossly misjudged that. But let's see. Mark Rainey's here is drinking a hazy IPA, Socks and Sandals, Guava Edition, Stickman Brewing. Socks and Sandals. That's a funny name. Liz Becerra says, yo, what's going on? Martha says, looking good, Kofuzi. Thanks, Martha. I got your message about the Revel 4s. They look nice. I wanted to review the Revel 3 last year. I just never... there's so many of the Brooks shoes that I'm well, if I have time, I'll get to it. The Revel 4, maybe I need to prioritize that. Maybe I'll just order it. I'll see if Road Runner Sports will send me one. Maybe we'll do that. Let's see. Someone's having Happy Joe's today. Where was that? Oh, MJM says Happy Joe's Sunday delicious. Nice. We had Happy Joe's on Friday for Pizza Friday. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. We've been getting the vegetarian pizza a lot. My mother-in-law likes vegetables quite a bit. My father-in-law doesn't, but my mother-in-law does. My wife and I like the vegetarian pizza. And I think I've told you guys this before, but at Happy Joe's, when you order the vegetarian pizza, there's one question. Do you want it with sauerkraut? Or I guess it's two, but it's kind of the same question. Do you want it with or without sauerkraut? Because it comes with sauerkraut. That's no joke. Yes, it does. And we get it with sauerkraut. I could go without it, but I'm fine with it on too. Tony Masia says, yo, happy Sunday. I'm drinking some iced lemonade. The girls really like lemonade and Gatorade. But I'm those are good summer drinks. So I made a picture of it this morning. We've been doing, rather than trying to turn that dog into a running dog, my mother-in-law's dog, right now when it's really hot this summer, I decided, well, maybe we should just go on lots of walks. And basically anytime the kids start getting a little bit stir crazy, I'll just say dog parade. and then we'll go out, and I'll take the big dog. My daughter will take my dog, Buddy, the French Bulldog mix, and then there's another dog here that my mother-in-law is watching over, and that one's like just a little tiny dog. Not tiny; it's about the size. It's not that much smaller than my dog, but like super. Well, I think we think that the dog used to be abused. It was a rescue, and so it's really timid and afraid of people, and like, but the dog doesn't pull, doesn't run away, whatever. And so the baby walks that dog. So the three of us, we've been walking to the top of that hill that I've been trying to train that dog on. So the three of us will walk to the top of the hill and come back down, and it's our dog parade. It takes a long time, but it's super fun and it's super cute, and we've been having fun with it. Yeah, so that's what we've been doing with our days lately. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been good. 364 Sunkiss says, what shoes do you recommend for plantar fasciitis? That's a question that comes up periodically. It usually comes up closer towards marathons, typically. But I don't know. I've not had plantar fasciitis before. I think that is it something, maybe someone here knows. Is it something where like the shoes really help or hurt? I always thought that it was more of there's physical therapy that you could do with your feet that will address that a little bit more, and ways you could potentially tape up your foot. Those are my understandings from like Seth James D'Amour's kind of experience with it. But that's about all that I know about plantar fasciitis. Roadrunner Review says, looking good, Kofuzi. How is everyone today? Thank you very much. Steve Washington coming in from the Big Easy. Very cool. Martin Bolin says, the Netherlands present. Awesome. Very cool. Super Smolt's coming in from the Lakefront Trail, and it's super humid. Well, although even if it is super humid, I'm very jealous. I miss the lakefront. I miss it a lot. Vegan Runners here as well says, yo, what's going on? Not really. Hank Aaron says, wear overalls for your meeting and a tie. I think my father-in-law, I could probably borrow one from him. He's got a couple. I mean, that would be weird to borrow. My father-in-law is like 4 inches taller than me, so nothing would fit. So that would be kind of weird. But yeah, I think for the meeting, I'm gonna wear just like a black t-shirt or whatever, and just be like, hey, I'm not even in the state, so here I am. This is what it is. Patrick Fung says, would love to see you in a suit, holding a cup of coffee and pushing the lawnmower. Mowing the lawn is such a hot endeavor. I don't want to do that in a suit. That'd be miserable. Filippo's coming in from Italy. What's going on? Gavin Braden's here as well. Shirt and tie says, shirt and tie top half, short shorts bottom half. Maybe I will do it in short shorts. Just no one will see that, but that'd be funny for me. But I just didn't bring clothes. I really didn't think that I'd be here this long, but because I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go, and it's gonna be summertime, and I'm gonna run a bunch. I don't need to bring work clothes, but here I am. I kind of need work clothes. Whatever. Martha's a seconding the vote for you to wear overalls and stand there with a pitchfork. My father-in-law has coveralls, which are different than that, and they're like canvas almost. That would not be fun at all. Let's see. Mark Rainey says he just got the Hoka Clifton 6. The cushion is kind of nice. Does not seem to like slow math pace, but works well with a normal slow pace. I say give it some time. Part of the Clifton, I think, takes a minute to like kind of figure out, like it matches and molds to what you're doing. So it'll meet you in the middle, kind of. Luis Chavez says, update on the Polar Grit Watch. It's still great. I'm still using it. I've been using it with Komoot to do my different routes around here. Although by now, like, I've memorized all the routes and like where I need to turn. There's not a lot of turns. It's usually like, run 4 miles and make a right. But sometimes those right turns are like tricky because like sometimes like the roads will meander and it'll look like I just follow the road, but instead I got to make a turn here. So sometimes it's tricky. Sometimes I miss it. But all the routes that I've been running, I've run a bunch here now, so I don't need it. The only thing about it is when I set up my Komoot, like I had punched in the address for this house as the starting point for the route. But in order for it to like pick it up correctly, I have to like walk down 2 houses to like for it to register that I'm at the correct starting point, and then it'll like do it correctly. Otherwise, like I'll just usually start running that way, and then it'll be like, hey, turn around. You got to go find the start point. So that's just been a little bit of a glitch. I don't think that's with a grit. I think it's more a commute that's the problem. But other than that, it's been great. I've been really liking the hill splitter function. That's nice. I like that a lot. I like knowing that like hills that I thought were big were actually a 3% or a 4%. I mean, back in Guttenberg, there were like 8% grades. So I like knowing that, so then I don't feel so weak as a runner. But yeah, but other than that, the Polar has been treating me really well. I think I'm going to take a look at some other watches though. Some of the Garmin Solar ones are interesting to me because I like the idea of like not having to really charge the watch or as much. Like the idea that it could take energy from solar is nice. But I also really feel like I need to look at Coros because so many people have been doing that. I also might look at a Phoenix series just because I feel like I gotta figure out what that's all about. So we'll see. I gotta still buy a new camera first, or figure out what I'm doing about the new camera. Then I can kind of figure out some of those because those watches aren't cheap. Yeah. Massimo 1993 says it's too cold in Melbourne to wear short shorts right now. Yeah. That still like boggles my mind that like on the other there's another hemisphere and it's the opposite season. It's just like mentally I have a hard time wrapping my mind around that. I mean, I get it. It's not like I don't believe it, but it's just kind of like, whoa, that's a weird thing if you think about it. Lydia says, hi, Mike. Have you ever shared the reason behind your channel name? By the way, it was the greatest surprise when I found out your name was Mike. Yeah. Yeah, Kofuzi comes from my last name is Ko, and then it's a play on like Confucius. So instead of Confucius, it's Kofuzi. That's kind of how it goes. It's pretty lame when you think about it. It's a nickname that I gave to myself in college to like further exemplify how lame it is. Yeah. Jody Run says, when are you doing your FKT attempt, or have I somehow missed it? I think it's going to be this week. I'm thinking Thursday. I'm going to look at, I think all the days this coming week are going to be like equally moderate or like seasonal temperatures. So I don't think that any one day is going to be better than the other. I was hoping, well, maybe there's going to be one day where it'll be a little cooler in the morning and I can pick that day. But I think, maybe Tuesday, maybe Thursday. I got to kind of figure that out so I can figure out when to taper. I'll probably do an easy run. I did an easy run today. So I guess if I did an easy run today and I don't run tomorrow, I can do it on Tuesday. But I do want to get in a run tomorrow for a video that I want to make. So then maybe I don't know. So then if I run Monday, then I need to do Tuesday, Wednesday. So I think Thursday's probably the right day for it. We'll see. I have to also coordinate with my wife's schedule. So that, because we're going to need to do some car dropping off and stuff. Because it's a point-to-point race. So I'm going to have her drop me off at the end. And then both of us will drive to the end. I'll drop off a car. And then we'll drive back to the start. And she'll drop me off. And then I'll run. So that's the idea. JC says, despite some restrictions on group gatherings, Running Club managed to pull off another 5K today, a prediction run. We only had 29 runners. Well, I hope it was safe. I hope you did well. Let's see. Roadrunner Review said, did a first run in the Treyu yesterday. Kind of reminded me of Hoka in the heel and more rigid in the forefoot. Yeah. I mean, I was very surprised by the Atreyu. It wasn't what I was expecting it to be. I thought it would feel more like a flatter ring cone. That's kind of like what I thought it was going to be like, and it's not really what I felt like at all. So it was a bit of a surprise, but it's an interesting shoe that I want to put more miles into it. I look forward to that. Steve says, today was one of those perfect running weather days in England. Planned to do 10, ended up doing 14, my longest run to date, inspired by Mr. Random upping his mileage. Wasn't that awesome? I mean, that is one of my like favorite things, is when like you have a run plan and you're just like, I'm going to keep going. Because one, it means that you had time in your day to do that, which is, for me, not always the case. But it also meant you were just feeling so good that you went for it. What a great feeling. Great job today, Steve. So Igarino Blackarino says, hey, Michael, have you ran in the NB 880 version 10? I have not. It looks a lot to me like the 1080 version 9. And then so it looks like they took like the 1080 version 9 and they just like ducked it down to like the 880 version 10. I don't know if anyone's running those shoes. Maybe let me know. Martha says, Kofuzi is super catchy, so not lame at all. Doesn't it resemble the Chinese pronunciation of Confucius rather closely? I think it does. I don't really know how to say it properly. My understanding it's something along the lines of Konfuzi. So that's kind of where I was like, oh, Kofuzi. If I made it Konfuzi, it turned that into Kofuzi. That's like Kofuzi. So that's where it came from. Sorry, I'm chewing on ice. It's a bad habit. I shouldn't have done that. Jay Weingart says, have you heard anything about the upcoming release of the New Balance Propel and Rebel shoes? That's funny. Like with the Propel, I feel like it should be Propel and Rebel, but like Propel and Rebel. It's like hard to, if you read those two words, it's hard to say them right after each other. But I have not, but I think it was Ben Johnson's Instagram where I saw a photo of the Propel. I think it continues to look a little bit like a shoe, like in the Tron universe. Like if you had to go jogging and you lived in Tron, I feel like that's a shoe that you would wear. That's what it looked like last year, and I feel like that's what it continues to look like for this year. I haven't seen any photos of the new Rebel, which I'm interested in because I've been really enjoying the Rebel lately. The fuel cell has been changing over time, which I didn't anticipate that, and it's been nice. I've been liking it. All right. Sorry, I left the desktop audio on, so if you heard a little chime, that was some random Windows thingy. Ricardo Katagiri says, yo, what's going on? I'm about to finish the Polar Grit Challenge. To finish it, I'm going to try and run the Mont Blanc Marathon course. Now that is an epic finish. Wow. I'm just going to go run around the neighborhood tomorrow. I mean, I've already hit my goal. I hit my goal yesterday, but I wanted to see like how many I could get in those 30 days. I think I'm at like 307 in the last 29 days, I think. So I got one more day. So like, I think I'm going to do like I think I'll do a half marathon tomorrow. So that'll put me, I feel like that's a respectable amount. I mean, doing 330 days, I think is a respectable amount, but feeling good about that. But finishing on the Mont Blanc Marathon course, that's so cool. I'm quite envious. That sounds awesome. There was a question from Brad Bradish. Is that your real name, Brad Bradish? Or is that a play on your first name? That's pretty funny if it were a play on your first name. And amazing if it's your actual last name, too. Brad Radish says, for running on gravel roads, would you ever wear a trail shoe like a Pegasus Trail 2, or would you only use road shoes? Asking as an Iowan looking to get into gravel. I've been doing both. So I've been running in just regular road shoes. Some are better than others for running on the dirt roads or the gravel that's out here. And then like the speed shoes generally don't like it. So like the SL20s, I've been running in those. Those, like, I'm constantly looking for which is the most buffed out part that I can run in. But other shoes like the Saucony Ride 13, and what else did I really enjoy? Like the Mizuno Wave Riders, even the Pegasus 37 has been pretty good on gravel. I haven't like felt like they're poking through a lot. The Boston 9 has been a surprise. I've been okay with that. Running on some of the rocks and the gravel that's out here. But I've also been running with like kind of what they call like crossover shoes or light trail shoes. So I've been running in the Ultra Superior 4.5. That one I think is great. I think the Pegasus Trail would be a perfect fit because then you're on the road sometimes and then you're on dirt roads sometimes. I think that would be a great one as well. I have the Sensoride 3, which is not really a crossover shoe from Salomon. And it's a little bit much because when I'm on the pavement, it just feels like it's a little out of place. But when I'm on the dirt roads, it feels great. But it still feels like a little bit of overkill. So those are some options for you. I think another one would be like the Terra Kiger, like those that are like light trail shoes, or anything that's just like a regular, like a neutral everyday trainer with like a beefier outsole pattern will kind of work for you. So I've been really enjoying it. I've been a great time. So, I think that there's a lot of great options. So I hope you can get into some gravel roads. It's definitely easier on the knees. I'll tell you that. Martha says the 880 version 10 has a lower stack height than any 1080 and it's definitely fresh foam X. Interesting. It's still is it still considered a max cushion then? I thought that's what the 80 meant. Is that it's max cushion. Mr. Random says the New Balance Propel is on the UK website. Of course it is. Because the UK gets everything first in terms of running shoes. The Beacon's been out for forever. Apparently the New Balance Propel is out. Triumph 18 is already out, which I want that. I really want that one. So, man, you guys have been having a great year. Keith for Vacation says, congrats to everyone who finished their Believe in the Run grit trial today/tomorrow. Awesome. My mom is here. Hi, Mom. How are you? Not really. Hank Aaron says, Ben Johnson reminds me of Chariots of Fire, the movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. All right, let's see. MC1796 says, with the Ride ISO 2, how long did it take for the cushioning to start to die off? I'm 5'10", 145 pounds, so similar build. I'm just starting to feel a bit more of the ground that I'd like to after 250 miles. I don't remember if I got that one to end of life, so I can't tell you that. I ran in the last ride that I ran I'm sure that I ran that many. I don't know if I ran in the Ride ISO 1 to like over 200 miles. The Ride 10, I ran like 360, 340 miles in that one. That one just like, it was a tank. It could go forever. Well, it was ever run, and you could run forever in it. Oh, that's a dad joke. But yeah, but at 5'10", 145, I feel like, yeah, similar build. 200 seems a little bit early, but, not too much of a surprise. I think that you could easily get to 250 with that, but I don't know. It also depends like how old your Ride ISO 2s are. Like if you got them recently new, then I would be more comfortable pushing them a little bit further. But if this is like your second year running with them, then I might say, well, you had them for 2 years, maybe it's a good time to replace it. And ultimately, regardless of what the number is, I feel like if you're like running in them regularly and you're starting to like collect these little like, oh, suddenly that hurts a little bit. That's not normal. Or that's unusual. Like these little aches and pains here and there, that's usually a sign of your body telling you like, maybe it's time to switch. So I might start looking at your next shoe now, just so that way it gives you time to like do some research, figure out when, like get something ordered and get it in, and then try it on, make sure it's a good fit for you. So in case you do need to exchange it or whatever. So I might start looking now. Demaji Brown says, who's Ben Johnson? He's pretty popular on Instagram and Strava. Yeah, I don't know who Ben Johnson is. He just came out of nowhere a little while ago. And then, but I think he's a relatively new runner. He's out of Minneapolis. That's what I know about him. He has a regular day job. I think he's some sort of engineer. That's my guess. But yeah, he's an amazingly fast runner. And like, just kind of like one of those guys where he just like picked it up and was like taken off. Terms of like progress on his paces and stuff. It's crazy. Let's see. Edgar Smith says, Kofuzi, with an exclamation point. What has been your favorite race to run and why? Well, my favorite is the Chicago Marathon. It's my hometown. It goes by my house 2 times. So like I love that one. But I also had a lot of fun running the Tunnel Marathon. Because it's basically, I always describe it to people like if there was such thing as like a running theme park, that would be a major attraction. It's a marathon that you run first through a train tunnel that's like over a mile long, and it's completely dark except for like glow sticks and everyone's headlamps. So it's a weird sensory deprivation tank, and it's like the first mile of the race, and then after that it's like 2,000 feet of downhill. So it's really really nice, and the views are spectacular. So that's probably a really fun race to run. I've done color runs before. Those are fun. Ryan Bradley says, just clobbered my first 130-kilometer run week, 2 halves, and a series of doubles done. Very nice. Nice work. Oh, wait. You know what? Let's see if I could get this to work. Where'd it go? Is this it? I downloaded a cowbell sound. Did you guys hear that or not? I have another sound too that I was thinking like we need to have like a PR bell or something, you know? And so yesterday I tried to download some sounds from Epidemic Sound, and like the cowbell, we have like a dozen cowbells at our house, but we didn't bring any to Iowa. Here's the other sound that I got too, which I'm not thrilled about, but I'm thinking maybe we'll use this one. Yeah. But I feel like that's a bell we got to put for when people have their accomplishments and are like telling us about them. I really want to like have a good one. What I would love to do is to be able to get like, kind of like you guys watch I don't watch Jim Cramer, but the show is so funny because it's basically like a lunatic in his basement rambling, right? But he has like the big soundboard and he can like slam on the buttons and make the sounds, right? I want like a big like thing that I can go boom like that, and it goes ding 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 ding, or like clink 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 clink, like that sound. Maybe I'll just do I'll just record myself going clink 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 clink, or maybe a little video. I'll have a little video of me like going like this. Yeah, I'm having fun. Thank you for humoring you guys. Yeah, that second one says, JC says too much like the New York Stock Exchange. That's what it's called. It's called like the, what is it called? Bell Stock Exchange is what the name of the sound is. But I got to find a better cowbell one. When I looked up sounds for cowbells on Epidemic Sound, which is where I get all my music from for the channel, like all the cowbells, they had listed like 12 different cowbell sounds. I was like, awesome. I'll definitely find one that I want here. And they were all like different, like single hit cowbells, like a percussion. It was one that was like ding. Another one was like dunk. So it was like 12. I was like, ugh. I was like, why? This shouldn't be so hard, but it is. But I think I'm just going to make it really super goofy, and I'm just going to record myself making the cowbell sound. We'll see. We'll see what we end up with. It's a work in progress. We'll get to it. Martha says, love the cowbell, and don't forget about the gong at the finish of Mountains to Beach. You got to do that marathon, and I'll do it too so we can be here and make that gong explode. Yeah, let's do it. I'll love to do that. I want to do Mountains to Beach. That sounds like fun. I don't know when I'll be able to go anywhere, but we'll see. MC 1796 says, sounds like the last lap bell, huh? Yeah, it does. That's true. Mark Rain says, oh gosh, are we going to talk stocks here too? All of my way. All my favorite things in life. No, I don't know anything about stocks. Yeah. I wish I knew more about it, but I really don't. Roadrunner Review says, I got a fever and the only prescription is more cowbell. Yeah. We gotta have some good sounds. We gotta make it goofy around here. Louis M says, I'm drinking a Bud Light this hot day in Houston. Definitely not my favorite, LOL. What's your favorite beer, Kofuzi? Oh, my favorite beer? I think, I don't know. I think my favorite changes depending on the season. Because the beer that I want to drink when I'm like cold in the winter is very different than the beer I want to drink in the summertime. That's a really good question. But I would say if I have to pick one overall, I'd probably pick something like Gumball Head, which is basically anything with a Citra hop to it. I think Gumball Head has a Citra hop beer, right? I think I like that one a lot. That one's kind of like an obvious choice, I think. I think a lot of people will pick that one. But that's a good one. That one I can drink all year round. I especially like to drink it on tap. It's really nice. But I think in the summer, I also like 21st Amendment, the watermelon beer. They also have a blood orange beer. I love those. So basically like wheaty or wheat-ish type of beers with a little bit of fruit in it. That's kind of what I'll gravitate towards. But I also really like Pacificos. I could drink those all day. Those are nice. Rainrunner says a lawnmower sound clip, please. Oh, I could do that. I actually have lawnmower foot. I could just make that sound. That's a sound that I can just make. I bet you, there's got to be a cowbell. I don't know if my mother-in-law has a cowbell. I'll have to check. Maybe if I rummage around or help. I'm not going to rummage around my father-in-law's wood shop, but like maybe in that area, I'll ask them if they have any bells of that sort. That'd be funny. Oh, Mark Rainey says Straight Story available on Disney Plus for free. Also available elsewhere for money. Okay, Straight Story. I gotta remember that. I totally forgot. I gotta write that down. I'm gonna write that down quick before I forget. Sorry, I'm just literally writing that down. Not really. Hank Aaron says, "Do you have a clown bicycle horn sound?" The best sound. That is a funny sound. JCC says, "How many marathons have you run?" I think like 5 or so. 6, something like that. All right. Chris Dyke says, Kofuzi, I've got the Rebels SL20 Novalast Beacon 1s. As a racing only shoe, is the speed different enough from those, or should I look at the Pro? Yeah, I would think so. Because I think that your closest then might be the Rebel. The SL20 could be close as well. I'm not sure. I mean, I've run 20 miles in the SL20s before. I'm not sure I would feel as great running at faster pace for 26.2 in that one, if you're looking for a marathon shoe. So I think that they're different enough. And I think that the question between like endorphin speed and pro is partially, for me, it's not like, am I ready to bump up or do I want to pay more to bump up to the pro? It's like, for me, I'll run it some more to verify this. But like, so far what I'm thinking is like, I just think that the pro is a shoe that isn't well suited for me. The speed like matches like my pace and my body size. And so I feel like I'm getting everything that the shoe is intended to give. With the pro, I feel like I'm not unlocking like all of what that shoe can do, because I just don't think I'm like running fast enough. Because I think when you're running faster, there's just more force applied and it's doing more things in terms of the carbon fiber plate and how stiff it is. And so I don't think that I'm unlocking it all. So for me, like, it's not like, if the speed isn't enough, should I then get the pro? It's, can I even benefit from the pro? So like the questions that people used to ask about the 4% all the time were like, yeah, but I'm like a middle of the packer. Do I really need a 4%? Like, the miracle of the 4% was that like pretty much everyone can benefit from it. I don't know how it does it. It's bizarre. But now some of these newer or the latest incarnation of carbon plated shoes, that they don't have that mass appeal. Or not appeal, but like applicability as much. So that's kind of the other thing to be wary about, for in my opinion. I think some other people have like kind of gotten the same like conclusion as well. But I feel like when they say pro, like they kind of mean it. Patrick Fung said, you should brand the cowbell sound that you make the cowbell. There we go. The cowbell, if I'm gonna like try to trademark, it would be me just going ding a ling a ling a ling, right? One of the things I thought about getting when we were back at the other house in Guttenberg was to get like a triangle to do that at the children to tell them like the time to come inside, because I felt like that would be appropriate out there. No Comb says, Kofuzi, how does Kofuzi with an exclamation point? I'm getting a lot of the exclamation points today, which I like. How does the Ride 13 Heel Cup compare to the Ride ISO 2? Ooh, I don't remember. It's been about a year since I ran in the Ride ISO 2. This one, like, I feel like there's just as much of that plushness in terms of like the soft parts. It's still full of memory foam, which is nice to put on, but does collect sweat. But it's still, in the plus and minus of it all, it's a plus because it's comfortable. But how rigid the cup is, I can't tell you if it's more or less. I just don't remember. Sorry. Chris Dyke says, if only running stores had an indoor track to try shoes out before buying. Yeah, that'd be something. I mean, they have like treadmills, but it's not always the same. But yeah, I mean, I think that like who knows what the future of retail is going to be now? I mean, I used to talk about the future of retail like 6 months ago before like the world imploded, but I think, who knows what like retail spaces are going to be like. But I think that what would make sense to me is if running stores are more just like kind of like the place that you take kids to go like do batting practice or like a hockey rink or something like that, that also sells all the stuff that you might need as well. Like even the pool that we take our kids for swimming lessons, they go to, Foss Swimming School. So it's just in a strip mall, and they built like a couple of pools. They're not like Olympic length or whatever, but they are intended to like teach from like infants to like, middle schoolers how to swim. And there's like a big retail section in the front. So if you forgot a bathing suit or you need a new one or you're looking for a new one, or the gauntlet that we have to always go by is there's like pool swim toys, and like they're all at baby eye level. So they're like really low. And so the baby's always like, Daddy, I want one of these. And I'm like, no. And I'm pulling her along. So like, I feel like that would be an interesting opportunity if it's like a place that like hosts meets, but also sells you like the 2-inch shorts. I think that would be like a real interesting combo. It'd be expensive. It like takes it out of the realm of like mom and pop shops, I think. Although if like retail, like a commercial retail space just like all of a sudden tanks, which it could, is and it gets really cheap, then like the math might work for people to do that. So like someone that wants to be like a race director / like Fleet Feet GM, like that's a business opportunity. I think I'm not the person for that. I'll be the person that goes hangs out there. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm just rambling. Sorry. But you guys have me thinking about it. Not really Hank and Aaron says, did you ever get the meat sweats when you ate meat? Yeah, all the time. I mean, I still sweat when I eat, but not usually it's because I'm eating spicy food now. But yeah. Or when I'm eating ramen noodles. Always sweat when eating ramen noodles. Or like the Korean dish sundubu. One of my favorite things to eat. It's like this giant vat of like scalding hot liquid, spicy, like a spicy ramen noodle, but with tofu that's in it. You can get them different flavors: seafood, chicken, beef. I usually just get mine with, what's going on with the lighting here? With kimchi in it, and it comes out so hot that you could crack a raw egg in it and then stir it around, and it cooks in there. So it's awesome. That makes you sweat because it's hot. I love that. You can't get a good one in Chicago. I haven't found a good one. The H Mart in the Loop has a decent one. Pretty good. It's actually very good. But it's not like a restaurant. It's like in a grocery store. Not that it's that bad, but it's good. It's just, that's also very far for me to get to. MC1796 says, how many beers did it take for you to feel like your recovery was hampered the next day? I mean, I could tell if I have one or two. And now you can usually tell from my watch, tells me my sleep. And then like in my run, if it's more than 10 miles, I'll feel like, ooh, Yeah, feeling a little bit dehydrated today, something like that. So like I could tell after one or two, but like I won't really regret it unless there's a lot more than that. All right, let's do one more. Let's see. Yeah, T. Davis says like something like athletic store, but with the track and field in the back. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a place that my sister takes her kids. It is a weird like megaplex of stuff. I think it's just a Chelsea Piers, but it's in Connecticut where she lives. But like so, it's got it's a strange collection of things. There's like indoor batting cages, there's like indoor volleyball courts, there is like regular like lap pools. There's like an indoor like mini water park kind of area. There is all sorts of stuff. And it's also connected to a daycare. So like the kids in the daycare, if your kids go to that daycare there and it's like the weather's not good, they'll play inside like on a soccer field, like an indoor soccer field. So it's this giant facility that you take the kids. And then like even if you're not in daycare, you might take your kids there like after school or like like I think a lot of kids these days, not only are they on like the little league team, but they do like private like batting coaches and stuff like that as well. Like that's all that kind of stuff, and soccer coaches, and it's crazy. But I feel like that complex should also have like a sports authority inside it so that you can just buy all the stuff. Or someone's like, if your coach is yelling at you like, hey, how come you don't have your cleats today? Is that what they call them? Cleats? Like your soccer shoes, the soccer spikes cleats. You can go like buy one, So I feel like, yeah. I feel like that's like where it's gonna go. I don't know if that's good or not, but it's super convenient for me. Well, except for those locations are usually far from where I live in the city, so like it's not that convenient for me. Yeah, Martha says milestone running in SD encourages people to go outside and test them. They keep the sidewalk outside nice and clean and it doesn't rain there much anyway. They do that at Fleet Feet. I remember a couple of times when I ran at Fleet Feet, they were like, hey, go run around the block and come back. So I've done that before too. But yeah, Patrick Fung says eat yukgaejang on Monday. Oh, you think I could do a yukgaejang out here? I don't know how to get a yukgaejang. I don't know how to cook that. So that's the thing. But yeah, so like, I think it'll be weird and interesting to see what happens to things like Fleet Feet, like Roadrunner Sports, and even like Running Warehouse. Like what happens to them in the future, and what happens to like places like tracks. Right now they're only at like high schools and colleges and stuff. But I think there could be more demand for other racing, especially steeplechase. I hear it's getting very popular. All right. I think I'm going to leave it there for today, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll have a video for tomorrow morning. The videos have been getting really delayed. I've just been having a hard time. I've been running into lots of technical difficulties, little glitches that I have to keep working around since my main camera is not working. So it's been tough. But I think I'm getting closer to a decision. And so we'll get a video tomorrow at some point, hopefully morning. And then we'll do another live stream. We'll have to figure out something for the Monday Mukbang. So we'll see. I'll figure out something to eat on camera again. All right. In the meantime, hopefully you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.